What is happening? I'm playing all kinds of stuff. Hello, hello, hello. I see 4 people on. Hello, it's One Divine at your service. I'm about to light a candle. And I'm waiting for my cohort and co-host here. We got called to go live, and Valerie Elster is reinstalling Chrome and having some technical difficulties. Not our first rodeo at this, so I'm going to pop her in when she pops in. But I'm going to switch this over to comments. We got 7 on. Hello, hello. Pop in the comments where you're coming from. Everybody put your pinpoint on the map. I'm coming to you from Santa Fe, New Mexico, from a dear soul sister, Light Tribe member, Virginia. Welcome, Carmen. Gigi, Kansas City. Hello, Athena. Where are you at? I was here last year. Ooh, I am feeling the energies dropping in as you're all dropping in. Hi, Cheryl. Liverpool, UK in the house. I was here 2 months last year. Also guided, brought here, did some huge work. Back again. I'm calling it my victory lap. I have tuned in a little bit, but I have not shared pictures from the journey that I have been on and was guided to go on. Beginning of June, I left Mount Shasta at the end of June for said journey. Hi, I'm in Northern Cali. Danielle, hey. We got Portland, Mary in the house. Another Portland, Marengo, Iowa. I got family from Marengo, Illinois. It's where my clan was originated, some of it. And shoot, hi. So for those of you who have joined while we're waiting for Valerie to get linked in, hopefully she's not being blocked. We got some important stuff to talk about. She and I weave together, compare notes, what we're getting, what we're seeing, what we're doing, what others are doing in the field. Everybody has their spot. Everybody's got their mission. And as you know, and why you're here, this is a big storm and happening, an event. Venus goes direct, comes out of the underworld today. I'm not an astrologer. I'm an alchemist. I do tune in. Oftentimes I will be guided to do something, go somewhere, whatever. And then I find out it's like some big conjunction or whatever. So I try not to put any expectations on what I do and just am guided to weave in this way. New Zealand in the house. Right on. We got both hemispheres, everybody. And it is on. It is on like a Donkey Kong. I would love it if you would join me just to drop in and for a prayer to sanctify this space and this container and this conversation. However you choose to tap in and be and connect to source, guides. I'm going to light a candle here. I've got a whole situation. I'm going to go ahead and turn it to show you. Oh yeah, it's going on. It is going on. And I am bringing in some things that I just have gotten. Let's see, we'll put that B right in the middle here, Santa Fe. I've always tried to sanctify everything that I do, but now more than ever. Here we go. Valerie's just in time for lighting the birthday cake. Hold on. Woo! Hi.
I made it. I made it. Hi.
Yay. Hi. Well,
Miracles.
we know this rodeo. How we go. It's going to be when it's supposed to be.
Hey, everybody.
We got 12 people on here, 12 beautiful souls from all over the world. We got, I don't know if you can see
Yes.
Valerie,
Hi.
put your
Hi,
comments
Luna.
on so you can see all of our family here. I was just about to, you know me.
Hi, Becky. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Ann. Hi, Miranda.
Afraid.
Hi, Gigi.
I'm
It's
afraid
108 degrees. Wow.
108 degrees.
Yeah, she's in Kansas City, right? Hi, Athena. You made it.
Got it.
it.
Good time to drop in.
Yeah, we're back.
We're gonna drop in a little bit, and I would just like to say a few words and no words as part of the request here as well.
Oh,
Thank
100 degrees.
you. Thank you, family, for gathering. Whether you are here live right now, we have people from all over the world, UK, New Zealand, Portland, California, LA, Santa Fe, Midwest, everywhere. Thank you for gathering today. We call upon our guides, angelic, galactic, ancestral. We call upon Gaia, the elementals, the animals who are all uniting with us at this time. We call in the Great Mother, who is also wrapping her arms around at this time and guiding us if we listen. We lean into her. We call for sanctification of this space, of this conversation, of this family. Protection. Unity. We'd like to leave some silent space. Please breathe together as we hold. On behalf of the mother, she said, use our arms, use our bodies, right? Spirit wants us, spirit into matter. We are the divine intervention. We are the ascension machines. Let's hold space for those who are in peril, who are suffering, who do not have homes, who have lost their children, their families, those souls who are crossing over at this time. The land is transforming. Thank you. And then, aho, let's go.
Love you, Becky. Where do we start?
That was exactly what I was thinking. I was taking a shower. I'm having a good hair day, y'all.
I know. I was like, hey, I got to do my hair. Let's
did
go,
mine.
Thomas. Hey, Thomas.
I did mine. I shaved every Sunday, y'all. It's a new week. We leave everything behind. Valerie, where do we start?
Okay, I'm just going to jump in. Hi, Casey. Hi, Kayleen. I was hearing as you were saying that Haleakala, okay, which is, of course, the which is in Maui. And so as when you were talking about the children, I saw, and there's a few that talk about Maui being New Jerusalem, which is interesting. And yeah, we're jumping right into Hawaii because that's in my field really strong. It's in many fields. And some of what I've received is Kauai will be New Lemuria. So there is definitely a movement of not only the grids, but the energetic ley lines. So that is definitely top of mind. Many of us have worked that Maui grid. We're familiar with the land and also with, a real desire for the Native Hawaiians to take the land back. And what I mean by that is, go back to the original practices of the land. It's not just on Hawaii, it's really all over the world because we're seeing what happens when there's just, a negligence really with the land itself, with the ancestors, with everything. It all is a co-creation, and this is the reminder, and it's a stark reminder how important it is to work with the land, listen to the land. Many of you on here work with the land. You do good work. I've worked with many of you. I've worked with one. We've done a lot of work over the years. And shahan da shakaya samarunda itama. So this is an opportunity, an opening for that to happen. So that's my
Yeah.
beginning.
Yes. So, affirmative. We've been weaving and comparing notes, but some of the things coming in, I have had a couple of calls with Hawaii, with some people there who are also working with the kingdom and are speaking the same thing, that this is a breach of contract.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That
Yes.
there will be a calling for those of us who have been pulling in blueprints, plans, recipes to assist them in creating a restoration, right, of these teachings, but also
Yes.
creating an economy that is not reliant on tourism, that is
Mm-hmm.
not only regenerative but expansive. I was called last year with specific instructions as soon as I landed to Mount Shasta, and I spent a year there. For those of you who know me, know this. And I thought I was going for a month for solstice, and I was there for a year.
Surprise.
I was there for a year, and then I thought I was staying because I was like, I was kind of really getting like comfy, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hide out in the mountains while this shit plays out and do magic, right? Okay.
Nope.
Nope. And it is because I do believe what I'm calling in my community, I'm calling this a victory lap. I went from Mount Shasta to the Redwoods, where I stayed for a couple of weeks there, and that was very profound. Did work. And I knew going out, I was shown going out, this was about Lemuria. This was about the water.
Mm-hmm.
This was about connecting all of these spots, come back home to Shasta. Like they showed me a whole
Yep.
call back out here to Santa Fe. I'm going to talk about that, what happened this weekend, how potent and poignant it was, the gathering that happened here. It is all on time and in its place. I went down through LA, saw Valerie. We did a little work on the coffee table, let's just say, and then saw my daughter, saw Barbie, went out, was called to stay certain places. I shared that with Valerie and some of the people in my community. I thought I was stopping at a rest stop to go to the loo, and it ended up being this huge, huge spot of intense training where over 1 million soldiers were hardened and trained, one of 12 camps for World War II. All of this coming up, Oppenheimer, 38th anniversary of the bomb, all of this coming up.
Yes.
For clearing from the earth. As soon as I stepped out of my car, I was like, what's happening? And then I was led over to this plaque, which explained what was happening and where I was.
Yep.
And did some work there, and often guided to anchor in and some light. And so I did. That was just like, I mean, literally thought I was just stopping for the bathroom. Okay. And it was like, ooh.
It's never just a stop, is it?
No.
Everybody knows.
Then went to Sedona. That was huge, and more water and more work there, like 48 hours. It was perfect. Then here, and the work here has been so profound, so beyond words. And I'm watching the others who are being led places, who are doing ceremony, and how it links in. We've got Avalon coming in. Like there's so many things
Oh yeah,
to
that's
cover,
important.
right? So we'll talk about that, but I just wanted to kind of share this also for those of you who are out there who are doing this work and being led to do this work. It may ping into spots that you're working or connect to or confirm for you that you are on the right track and you are receiving what you are receiving. um, Absolutely open and encourage anyone who wants to share in the comments any insight or what you are doing at this time. I just wanted to kind of summarize what I was being shown. And Valerie and I talking about like the ancestors, if you aren't getting that, like are so
Yeah.
present, like the angels, the ancestors,
Everybody's ready.
it's like all hands on deck. And I know that I've used that term before, but it is blowing my mind.
Yes.
I am actually wearing this. I got this yesterday. I wanted to show and tell.
Oh, beautiful.
This is hand beaded by a grandmother
Wow.
and what happened. I'll just lead into that and then you take it away because we've been talking about the ancestors and the
Yeah.
unification and the rainbow tribe. So
Yes.
when I went yesterday in Santa Fe, there is an indigenous art fair here that calls it all tribes from all over the place in one place on the square, which is so potent, and around Santa Fe. Um, at this time, 100,000 people come in for this show. I didn't know about it. Then I was taken there, tried to go Saturday. It wasn't the day. I was out in Pecos with another one of our tribe, Kimber Paella, who has land out there. And we did some work, Kimber. And she's also gridding now. She's coming back to LA. This is
Yeah.
all just like picturing, right? This light weaving that's happening is unbelievable. And so I went and I have, we recognize each other. We see each other. We give each other little flags like, dude, on the team. But I can say for myself, the level and clarity and immediacy in which the recognition is happening right now is so unbelievable. I was led by angels to earth angels to people doing things. There was some time thing happening I was seeing.
Yes.
Um,
Yesterday. Big time.
yes. So while I was there, there's an artist who I was led to, one after the other, angels, and spoke to. He had this piece that he just finished immediately before it. Okay. He's been working on it for over a year and it was like a timepiece. It had a sacred mask on it. I wish I would have pulled it to share it. And it was on a tree, a slice of a tree, just how we measure time. And there were stones at the base and it was like a bust and a fur around the jacket and then the mask and hair.
Yeah.
And it was all about transcending time, being out of time and space. And you could literally physically turn it, which I did.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing.
And he's wearing a rainbow checkered shirt, right?
Yeah.
The artist.
That's right.
And when we speak to one another, we may bring words through or stories through that we don't even know why we're telling them. And it's to trigger them for something, right? Or for them to see you like, oh yeah, on the team. And I did, and I spoke about how I have an organization, of Mothership Alliance and a community of the family. And he said, wait a minute. And he went and he got his pay thing for his, Square or Venmo or whatever. And he shows it to me. And it said Mothership.
Yeah.
Okay. And he was holding a very important space right there on the square. I ended up going back to him to tell him what I was receiving about what he had created and how powerful it is.
Yeah.
And so they were showing me the time. They were showing me, right, the chromosomes and the DNA and the data that it holds and the rainbow tribe, literally all of those codes coming together along with the 100,000 who landed here with all the tribes, white, Chinese, you name it. Everybody was in the hazizzle.
Yeah.
And that was very potent and powerful. So I just wanted to share that. And I've got here on my little altar. I also bought from an artist all of these indigenous women paintings.
Yeah.
And this grandma made this. It called me over. It made me start crying. So I knew that
Yeah.
I just have to
Amazing.
get it. Yep. So
Wow, thank you for all that. And all of that resonates. I've worked in that area, as you know. Thank you, Diamond Heart. And Athena was talking about the vision she had yesterday of the plates moving. And as everyone might know, we had a big, it was a 5.1 out of WHOOIE, a grid that I started working in 2012. So there was a big shift yesterday. And Mu is rising, Lemuria, Mu, it's rising right on this continent. I'm in Southern California. This is Lemuria. I've been here for 10 years. I am getting the push out. So lots of shifts, lots of changes here on this coast. And like one said, many of us have been working this California ley line, very important, southern all the way up to Shasta, because this is Lemuria. This is the landmass between Lemuria and Atlantis. I've always seen California as the middle between the two. This is the bridge. I see California as a bridge. And so many of us have done this work. We're here now, like you were saying, this is Rainbow Tribe. We know what we're doing. We know who we are. We know who the family is. So now it's go time. It's been go time, but it's different. We've gone through so many initiations, all of us. And, on a masculine feminine side, we had to do a lot of that inner masculine, the outer masculine, like you're saying. They're getting the signals, they're listening, they're following the guidance, which is really important. And so the movement of certain ley lines, which is us, we're the walking ley lines, and we go to a location and start to unfold. And I know wherever I land, I'll start to unfold all of the different blueprints and grid activations that I've been holding. I have done a lot of work in Mu, in Lemuria, and Hawaii. So we're at that next juncture in this activation process. The ancestors very much a part of it. We all carry lots of ancestral pieces, and then we have the actual ancestors in this incarnation, in this 3D space and time. So we're holding that space, and I saw and I feel like, okay, time to stand up, especially what's going on in Maui. I was there 6 years ago working on that grid. And so it's a really important time. And this is that support. However, we're being asked to support what's happening, but this is that chance for all of the indigenous peoples of the land to take back, stand up, whatever you want to call it. I just see them like, oh, hey, it's time for us to return, right? This is a return to the ancestral ways, the ancient future. I keep seeing that ancient future piece. So wherever you're being called is a really important aspect. I'm winding down here. And so there's going to be a movement of the ley line. So I just wanted to share that much. And we are still having, WHOOIE is having a bunch of aftershocks. There was 10 yesterday, 3.3 to 5.1, and now it's 10 aftershocks already today. So WHOOIE represents many things, and it connects out to many different
we've both done a
places.
lot of work there.
A lot of work, and some of you have also done that work here. I was with Kimber on WHOOIE on that grid. And I did some installation of, I would say, fourth dimensional frameworks there in 2014. So a lot of this last 10 years has been about laying the foundation, right? Not only personally with our own frameworks, internal frameworks, but laying the grid work foundational so everything can start to run. And so yesterday, and
Like this.
exactly. And I just want to point out when I mentioned a few days ago, the 2024 timeline was going to ground. And so I think this is part of it. In
Yes.
2024, those of you who understand timelines, that it's already been coded. So, regardless of the calendar of this calendar, we're working in a different calendar. We're in Mayan calendar, we're in galactic time. So it's a very different way to look at things. I'm hearing some language regarding this. Ishukosanjana hanuapatoman te amano shande etana tukansanja parande kamanonea nanaye etukande tor itarenda. Many of us are being called back to Lemuria, back to Hawaii, whichever island. I know you are. Lavelle, our other sister, is being called there. Kimber was there earlier this year in Maui. She has family there. So it's holding that space. And as I've said before, we're this next phase, we have to do it together. And I mean physically together in person for what's coming. Not only the land, the shift in the tectonic plates, but also for what's happening with our species, with the human species, and also our reconnection with many of the animals, specifically the cetaceans, the whales, and the dolphins. They're shifting their energy. There's a lot going on. So this is where we know who we're supposed to work with. There's really not a lot of words. We're just showing up where we're supposed to be, when we're supposed to do it. So that for me is an important aspect, because that means that the cymatics, the sacred geometry that we resonate with, is aligning us naturally.
Thank you. Thank you. I always point the wrong direction. Thank you for saying
Oh,
that.
hi, Charmony. Thank you. Okay.
First, before I affirm that, and I was getting words to speak to that unification, but I just wanted to share. Athena was saying,
Yes.
spot on, right?
Yep.
Mu is rising, mother births herself. Yes. About the unification, I'm so glad you spoke that, because that's what was coming through and what I watched, like the whole field.
Oh,
I
thank you, Renee.
watched the patterns and the algorithms and who's doing what and how it's playing out. And many think that we are not united. And we, in fact, are.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so, to the point, as I made to understand it, and what happened a week ago Sunday, and Lionsgate before that was so massive here with the people that I was doing and what I was called to do, so massive. But one of the things that came through is like, we did it. This is what they tried to keep apart, our codes that connect, that run new programs. Even when we don't think we're working together, we absolutely 100% are. You got this gear, I got that gear, this gear, murder. It's a Rube Goldberg machine is what I've always seen. I've always said, right.
It's
And
the switchboard.
and paying attention, what she said about paying attention to who you're called to be with. I knew going out, it wasn't just about the grid work. It wasn't just about Lemuria. It was connecting in the physical to people, and getting in circle and doing this work on land or together or just having dinner. It makes a big, huge activation in us both, or all. And we are unified, and we'll continue to unify. And I want to talk about a little bit. There's so much to talk about, but about what is happening and what I'm seeing unfold. And I would love your take on it and what people have said through the end of the year. I see it like dominoes. It's how they show me the metaphor of dominoes all the time. I mean, like ridiculous, coming back from Kimber's on Saturday. I get behind in the middle of flipping nowhere a car, because they were showing me again what we were doing with the top domino.
Yep.
Delivery, pizza, lit up. It's like I couldn't miss it. And I kept getting the train, and I was sending to Valerie. I get that a lot, right? The train. And it's coming, right? This is the next one. I was shown in 2012 certain things that I had to leave behind to get on the next train. They're like,
Yeah.
you're not going to get the transfer ticket if that doesn't go, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like that again. They like are hammering me with that again of things that need to go before I can get on the next train or that
Mhm.
it's coming. And then also, last year I was guided to create containers and events, whether it was days of prayer or a circle or whatever, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And again, I'm being shown this. I'm being shown, and I was shown at the time 10, 10, grandma, 11, 11, mother, 12, 12, daughter, water,
Right.
floodgates.
Yep.
This year on 10, 10, on the property that I'm sitting on, there is going to be indigenous and other worldly grandmothers here holding an event and doing it with
Beautiful.
Florida Mayo and many others who are going to be also broadcasting it. That's the same that I have received instructions for Equinox to do it on the ground, but then tether people in from all over the world to Mount Shasta. We're all getting the memo and we're all doing it in our own way. So we just have to follow where we are magnetically attracted. But this is going to be a doozy. Tune in with the grandmothers 10, 10,
Yeah.
11, 11. We'll see what that brings. 12, 12 to 12, 21. Huge gateway. Also shown that, and I do a lot of work in those time gateways, 12, 12 to 12, 21 as a time gateway, that it's like a portal. And that one to this 24 too, like really huge. I'm seeing it. I get shown the alchemy of like the years. Okay, so there's 7 years. 12,
Yeah. That's a cycle.
2012, you get
Mhm.
7, then 8 goes infinity, 9 completion, 10
Mm.
new game
Mhm.
board, 11 it goes to 11. Notch it
Yeah.
up. We're at 11 right now. This is
Yes.
11 and I'm being shown and like with the humor, all right, of this is Spinal Tap. Get it? Spinal Tap or Spinal Kundalini. Get it, kids? It goes to 11. And this year is going to 11.
Yes.
So be where you're guided to be. Do what you're being guided to do. Don't give any F's. If anybody think you cray cray, I'm seeing a lot of bullshit attacks.
Yes.
Yep. So anyway, there's more, but Christmas. Okay, they keep showing me Christmas, Christmas, Christmas.
Yes.
Oh my Lord. Yesterday I'm at St. Francis Cathedral, okay? I prayed the labyrinth like I always do. I called in mother for that one and I get done right in front of the St. Francis statue is this woman working on a needlepoint. I walk by, it's a whole Christmas scene. I mean,
Right.
I went out to Kimber's before we get to her house. There's a Christmas tree lit up, middle of flipping nowhere in the land with roses all over it.
Right.
Okay, some slow on the uptake. Yeah. Okay. Last thing I want to say, I'm going to drop it for somebody who needs to hear it or whatever. A scene, this family of light. This
Yes.
is all like so deep.
That came up.
Christos Templar, not
Yep.
Middle Ages Templar.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, the grids, all of this. You're here. We're here.
Yeah.
This land in particular has some deep scene energy
Yes.
that happened last time I was here
Mhm.
coming in. So that's
Yeah.
a whole bunch of stuff I just like onto a plate. Go. Christmas.
Well,
What do you get
yes,
in
Christmas.
Christmas?
Well, all of that resonates, and what I've been saying, if you follow me on Facebook, we've been in a 2-year restructure of the root chakra, and literally anything that is not in alignment will be pulled out from the roots. And that was a very clear visual middle of this year. So we've got about 4 months to the end of the year. And so I was told by the end of the year, our first chakra will be restructured. And our third dimensional frequency has been restructured already. It is higher. So what happens is everything moves up in frequency. And I've said this, it's not personal, it's frequency. People will literally come in and leave your field possibly the same day because it's the resonant frequency. Where are you consistently resonating? Which is why during our own process, during these, shadow times that we've had to go through, Now we're working, right, collective. Many of us work the collective field. So taking the temperature of the collective, what can we hold as a collective unit, as a species? The unification of the species is really been what this is about, because it doesn't matter, like you're saying earlier, what tribe you're from. We have to do this together. All of the tribes have to come together. But before that can happen, we've had to go through and update, heal, recapitulate all of the reasons why we have been so separate, at war with each other. So this is the main aspect. And yes, many of us here are Templar, a scene, we have remembrances. So calling on all those remembrances in the last 10 to 12 years since 2012, because that was a
Yeah,
cycle.
your whole basket.
Yeah, your whole basket. So 2012. Sorry, I'm on Fleagate over here. 2012, right? 1212 was the 7-year cycle, which ended when? 1219. What happened in 2020? That's when a lot of the things that we all did started to unfold. And I knew 2024, that was going to be where many of these higher frequencies, fifth dimensional, whatever you want to call them, heart-based frequencies, heart-based software, right? Organic intelligence. This is where it all starts to unfold, because if it's not from the heart, if we're not operating truly, not just for us, this is for all of us. It has to work for everyone. So, the personal work includes the collective work. And if it's just for self, we know what happens. It's probably not going to unfold. There has to be a consistent algorithm, which is all of the tribes coming together with their pieces, right? With their parts. And a lot of us had to heal, because a lot of the last couple thousand years have been very disorienting, a lot of trauma, right? This is the ancestral, a lot of clearing in those fields. And, that meme of it stops with us. Our ancestors didn't have the knowledge. They weren't, they didn't have many things, right? So we're back in these bodies, in these avatars, to not only bring through these higher consciousness that we've had access to through our lifetimes, but to unite finally to ground this, heaven on earth, peace on earth, Eden, whatever you want to call it. Uh, and that's really what this family of light is about, so 144, many names. It's an energetic blueprint, and it's something that unfolds effortlessly. There's no struggle, and this is what together we can accomplish, which is why we're here now. So thank you to everybody holding the space, who know this, who felt this in their hearts. And yeah, right? We're on the same page. The animals, they're
100%.
speaking. Yeah, I mean, most of my work has been about peace. I do a lot of peace agreements between the realms, because I can speak many languages. And that has been my main goal as a, mediator. And most of it's been with the inner earth realm. So, just like the tribes here on Turtle Island, United States, none of the agreements were kept except one. None of the agreements with the government were kept with the tribes here. And this is also why Hawaii is coming up, because they have a kingdom. They have that already. There's a sovereignty there that Native Americans here didn't really have. So this is about
Very important.
sovereign, right? What?
Very important. Go ahead.
Yeah, very important, right? The sovereignty. It's not just about, I mean, we have to have the sovereign aspects. This is not an easy feat, and it really is going to take all of us holding our frequency, unfolding wherever we're led. I should have been gone probably a year ago, but I have a child and his father, so many of us, all of us really have something in the 3D that has allowed us to kind of get pulled in. But this is tribal, and this is all of us. We are all part of this tribe on this planet. So, you know, but working through the trauma, moving out of the old 3D of the victim consciousness, of the survival. This has been the biggest aspect because, as we move forward, we're moving in a way just like, oh, I just saw mermation, right? Like the bees, right? We're moving in this way of being fully supported. But that has been challenging. How do we move in this way, consciousness, when we're still attached to an old system, an old money system? So these are the pieces that have taken a while in this 3D, because you can't just go from one to another. It doesn't work like that. So it has been this gradual, mermation, and many, 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 many updates, timeline releasing and collapsing and zero pointing to get to this point. 11:43 on August 21st, 2023, right? So that's a lot of data, but pulling everything together in now, I feel like we're ready. We're ready to unfold everything that we need to.
Yes. I want to talk to two parts of that.
Okay.
The 144 and the tech and the
It's
templates.
11:44 right now.
Let's talk about that then. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I love it when plan comes together all day
Highly.
long. Confirmation. So one of the things that I do some with Valerie, we talk about the technology, and this is what I am, Christos Templaric. I see the tech. I am shown how things work. And one of the things I've been really tuning in on and kind of being shown, like I'm in a classroom around the 144, I call templates, archetypes.
Yes.
And I always say, everybody watch me. This is a video game. Okay. It's like a video game. And this is where we can't win this level unless we do it all together, no matter how much that sister gets on your freaking nerves. Like, it's okay. They got a spot, whatever, that brother, whatever. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. But the 144, I believe that there are like 144,000 archetypes, templates that we mix and match, right? For this lifetime, maybe it's a combination Rubik's Cube of that for whatever our mission or our purpose is at that time, right? It's like a video game avatar. You got this skin, you got blonde hair or no hair or whatever it is.
Right.
And they then fractal, right? So there's not 100, many of us, we all know this, right? There's not 144,000 only. It's fractal like 144 million, right?
Right.
So those being activated together, it's like a full program. Each of those holds a piece of the program, and then together it runs the whole juice, right?
Yes.
And then what was the other thing that you were talking about that I wanted to talk to? I said the 144 and
the tribe. The tribes, right? Because tribes of Israel. I mean, this was clear. This came through early on, 2012, because I started seeing people showing up with different tribe affiliations.
Yes, and we've talked, right. And then,
we've
like when
talked
we went
about
to
this,
Egypt, I literally had people that I pulled in on the resonance science tour that I was like, you got to come, because I was shown they're from this tribe, they're from this tribe, they're from this tribe. Like, everybody get together there and activate together. I also, with regard to Hawaii, some of the conversations we've been having, right, is this opportunity for a blank slate. Oh, I know. I want to talk about the sovereignty aspect.
Sovereignty. Yep.
Okay. The kingdom and the sovereignty, that is massive. That's a massive game board advantage. Okay. They do not have to get permission from the powers that be with certain restrictions on building or anything else. And they are looking to and open to others who have blueprints. I'm one of them. I'm supposed to go. And I know that they fit with others. I was supposed to do the temple in Mount Shasta. And I believe that the core, the little seed of life, The micro of the macro is supposed to be seated there. I don't know how, I don't know when I'm supposed to go. We're looking at 12/12 to gather some of the people with that. And there is money that is available from those of us who are on the team. Not everybody's broke, and they are paying attention and they are watching and they are going to bring it. It is not just the corporations that are going to swoop up and take all this land. Have hope and know that we got billionaires on the team too. And it is coming. Get your create your containers, create your programs, create whatever you're being called to create. It is coming. And we have to be ready for it. And or if whatever you're doing is praying or helping somebody die, okay, we need all of it.
Yes. Oh, there's a bee in my house. Yes, 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 and yes. And that's important. And we've had to break the system. I mean, let's just be honest here. That's what 2020 was. The system had to be broken. Well, it is broken, but it had to be stopped, right? The cog, we had to put something in the, right? For people to stop and see we're just running a program. Because I've worked in the Akashic Records for a long time, 20 years. The program, what we were holding in 4D, fourth dimensional awareness, the emotional body, was mainly a program. And in the last 2,000 years, what has that program been about? A lot of trauma, right? A lot of not Eden, the opposite of Eden, control, and all of these different programs. So a lot of that has been about pulling people out of, I mean, what people call the matrix, right? Which is just a trauma bond, an understanding of being in this very micro environment, which is what you just said. It's not about getting approval and all of the red tape, all of this control. So anything that creates control is really what we've been moving out of, because we're divine beings and we're in these bodies and we're here to bring back that light, those fractals of light. The children are ready. They've been activated. So, we have to step up, because this is what's next, is stepping out into more mainstream, which is why we have to do it together, because there will be challenges in what we're going to do. And together we can hold each other up. If somebody falters, the group has you. So this is important for the next phase. The resources are showing up. I'm seeing it. I'm feeling it. So how we move is also creating a better way for all of us to communicate, share resources. This is the vision I had in 2012, sharing everything, right? But having something having a resource. Oh, who just came in was Ray Powell. Ray is a dear friend. Some of you know him, who exited this planet last year, and he was working with a lot of new systems. I interviewed him a few times on New Earth platforms, decentralized systems. He was all about self-governance. All of these things are ready to go. So it's just a matter of how they unfold, and that is frequency. And that's also, again, where we physically are, whatever blueprints you're holding. And so sharing, which is what we've been doing right through these social media platforms, has been great. We're all finding each other. Now, what's next? We have to move off into something that's not tracked, something sustainable, something where we can all participate and be supported in all ways, right? Financially, emotionally, everything. That's what's next. That's what I'm seeing. And so I'm holding some of those blueprints, as you are one, as many of you here, to, create those.
Right. And that's why they have had since the beginning with the mothership, create the micro, the macro. We have
create
our
the
own
micro. Yep.
social media place off of main social media where I can play my music.
Okay.
I can go live and say whatever the hell I want. Muy importante. But it was about modeling the micro of the macro, so that it would seed for that.
Seeding.
And there are
Yes.
many that are working on it, right?
Yes.
There are many that are working on this. Adam Apollo, others like with platforms that are
Yep.
all inclusive. And I wanted to talk to the children, the children, the children, the children.
Can
They
I say
are
something
ready.
before? Okay. I have language before you go into that, if
Do it.
that's okay. Yeah, something's coming through.
Mhm.
I'm hearing this is a new blueprint, right? These are new blueprints. We I'm just going to speak language. It's easier for me right in this moment. Mahanon ishonda. Yeah. Dohanda makushambasha batu ena nai shotoenda. E mahonda baya manu shashamaya manuata. So we're bringing through, and this is that the Lemuria Mu. This is the mother. This is the heart. That's why it's such an important grid. It's an important ley line. It's an important stargate, which is why things were hijacked and that frequency was disconnected, right? Which has also been part of the reconnection, is reconnecting that mother circuit. That's why so many are being called, because the gathering in person of all of our frequencies, extremely important. It doesn't take that many of us, right? We're two or more are gathered, but especially in person, especially when all of your pieces have been unfolded. When we get together, it sends very important signals to the land, to the animals. Okay. So it's so we will need our strength. You will need your strength if you're being called somewhere, because usually when you start moving, which is what's happening to me, things are popping up, right, in opposition to me physically moving. So it's staying in the 0 point, staying in your heart, reaching out to us, reaching out to people that understand what's happening. So you have that support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Children.
Yeah, before that, I want to talk about the unity that you just said. She's like so spot on. I've written and posted. I've not been doing a lot on social media through this because it's just been all physical people. But one of the things that I noticed when I came here too, I mean, it was so intense, just decompressing and integrating from where I went or what I did or whatever. And I was noticing too, what we call in 12-step recovery, stinking thinking. Okay. And just real negative stuff. And I was shown too, I was having a little attack. I don't like to give a lot of energy to that, but I am aware, I'm not naive, and I do protocol and cleansing and just putting awareness on it often will nip it in the bud. So with that, one of the things that I noticed was I'm here on the compound with my friend and her family, and I was feeling to like really lock up solo, like in my room. It was like we were going to have dinner. She had invited me earlier up to the house. She was having a bunch of people over. I'm like, I just feel like being alone. I just want to like know people. And just as I was about to text her and say I wasn't coming up, she texted me. She's like, "Oh, we're ready. Come on up, blah, blah, blah." And I knew at that moment, I knew I was supposed to go up. And as soon as I went up, dissipated, complete dissipation of any heavy or stagnant energies, anything discordant was gone. Because what we do is we share the circuit load. I always bring in the metaphor of Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yes.
holding the Infinity Stone. And if he holds it by himself,
Yep.
blow up, and everybody holds hands. That's it. Right now, hold hands. You're going to blow up with the Infinity Stone that we're being asked to hold right now. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing is the children. And also this just came in as a reminder and showing me again the function of breaking things apart. That's where you triggered me with the breaking things apart,
Yes.
2020 and all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I would be very super duper surprised if there were anyone on here right now listening who is not neurodivergent, autistic, whatever you want to call it. I'd be very like, raise your hand if you are not.
That child ADHD, tension dialed to a higher dimension.
Right. And then people get pissed with that. They're like, there's toxins in the food and this and autism is I'm autistic. Okay. So like, I get it. I'm luckily functioning, high functioning. However, I was shown, and the reason I'm bringing this up, maybe somebody needs to hear it, that because where we're going, right, is nonlinear, and we do not function in this way, and us coming in and the children coming in this way are breaking the matrix. The mistakes that we thought we have done, we effed up because we forgot that paper, or we did that, or we were late, or whatever, were all part of not being in the matrix and breaking the matrix. So this was told, that it was like, to me, like, I could go down a lot of energy. I used to, not so much anymore, beating myself up for what I should have done, could have done better, blah, 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 blah. Right? We know this
Right.
one.
The mind game.
Yep. And I get shown when let's stop it. This was because that had to happen. This was this, but us who are like these wackadoodle, whatever, going our own way or our own say, it's so important for breaking this program. And we have broken. It's broken. Now we just try to make the new stuff. Yay, Becky Arthur.
Yay, Becky.
1-month-old granddaughter watching with it. They are unbelievable.
They're ready.
Children coming in, speaking light language, inventing stuff.
Yeah.
Just shining like unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's so important. Thank you for sharing that. It makes sense. And, that's the thing. I mean, I had a clarity in 2012 when I had my greater awakening. This is for everyone, right? I'm doing this for not only my son, who just turned 14, but this is for everyone. And, sometimes you have to make choices for everyone that on a 3D level, right, look like you're not in your mind correctly. But that's the piece, and we've agreed to do this. And so when I say collective, it is collective. And it has to work for everyone. It can't just work for this group or this tribe. That doesn't work. We've done that. So all of these big situations that come up, catastrophic situations, look what happens. Everyone comes together. It doesn't matter who you are. Like you were saying in the beginning one, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. We've had to flatten the hierarchy, I call it. And that for me is anything that separates us, anything, right? Where you were born, how much you make, all of the hierarchy setups from many thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years, really all the planetary pieces. Anything that creates separation has had to go. But that is not an overnight feat. That is a very specific, very, what would you call it? Timeline of unfolding.
Ascension timeline programming. You got it. Yeah.
Right. So it's very calculated. It might, you're saying we're all over, but it's a very specific, if you're tuned in, if you're listening, which many of us do, which we all have done, exactly what's happening. And so when I talk about a 2024 timeline, it's an energetic that's available to us now. And I really felt like that has grounded, which is why we had some very interesting things the last couple of days. And I'm not the only one working on this grid. This is a big grid. I work on other grids, but this is top of mind, and it's ready, right? So it's kind of like you put all the ingredients together, you put it in, you set the timer, and you wait, right? Or you'd go do something else. You go work over here. And that's how timelines work. So you do all the coding and you let go, just like computer. You write all the programming.
So put it in Godoogle and hit return.
Godoogle. Because it's going to create a specific framework in this dimension. So many of us work multidimensionally, and now certain things are ready, right? They're ready to be manifested in this physical domain. So it's exciting to see, because I know, and many of you do know, what's happening on the other realms, but it has to come through And as we move into the lower densities, that's where many things were stuck or took more time, because we've had to clear a lot of those distortions, inversions, blueprints that were tampered with, that created a cycle of repetition, and
Correct.
also looping. A lot of my work in the Akashic records was looking at what is looping on a collective level. And so I did work in the collective Akashic record of humanity, and to see, well, what's looping? That doesn't serve us anymore. We're just running old programming because that's how the subconscious works. So it's really been a group effort and a lot of energetic work. So, whew, um, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for the Eden part. Who's on board? I'm ready for the Rainbow Tribe to really come together and really ground, right? Really ground this heaven on earth. So, yay.
Yay. Okay. I feel pretty complete, except for
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to wrap it up and talk about
Okay.
equinox.
Yes.
K Bird. First of all, K Bird is commenting. She's in Mount Shasta. We have not met in the
Hi.
physical yet. We will.
What? I'm so surprised. Hi, Kay.
We
Winter
will. Though.
Wonderland. Really?
Divine timing.
Divine timing.
So
Yes, Carmen.
equinox.
Cool.
Okay. Equal.
Yes,
It's a
David.
biggie. It is a
Yes.
biggie. Many groups are being called to create containers and come together. And
Yes.
this is the big, like all the gears. Many of us have had the vision, held the vision, seen the vision of there will be this moment
Right.
where we all do something at the same time and we know what it is and we know
Yeah.
what to do. And we know it's okay if we don't know until a second before that we do it. I have
Yes.
received instructions on what to do in Mount Shasta. I am holding a container there on the ground, on a house, grandmother Anna. It is big. It is the biggest thing that I've ever been called to do. I've been trained, and this last year in Shasta, gridded, all these things. And what came in last week about what we're going to do that I'm not supposed to speak publicly until
Yeah.
the time is massive. So wherever you are being called, we are going to be having, I thought I would have a landing page up for it, calling in 144 people. My directions were specific. I'm tuning
Oh,
in on whether that includes the people on the ground or 100 angels all over the world to
right.
create a web and web into Mount Shasta and blast at that time. I know that there are some from Sedona already creating a group being called. Wherever it is that you are feeling to tune in, there are 2 places left on our, I'm calling it the Equinox Alchemy Experience. It is 9 days. There's 5 on the ground. It is a process. We will all run the same algorithm at the same time. This is very powerful. So if you are feeling called and you have been called to Mount Shasta or called energetically that you tether in, I invite you. 144 spaces. I will
Yeah.
have that up. I will be posting it everywhere on my timeline, on Mothership, everywhere
Oh,
for anybody to tune in that they want to join in that. We are asking for some support. It is not unachievable. We have to have support to do this. It is also energetically supporting the mother, because it is the mother who called me to call the family together to do this. So wherever you're being called, I would advise to get with people, even if it's 2 other people, 1 other
yeah.
person, whatever it is, group containers. This is a huge family deal. I'm seeing so many people going to Egypt in October and November. We got an eclipse in October. It's on, everybody. It is on. So
Yep.
get with your people, get where you need to be. And I am so covered in shing, I call it shing, ding,
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding energy right
Yay.
now for this
Yeah.
family. I love you all so much.
Yeah.
Valerie,
Thank
I
you,
love you
everybody.
so much.
I
It
love
has
you so
been
much too.
such a
Thank you, honey.
pleasure to do. It's blowing my mind. I mean, I've seen crazy shit. Egypt, you have too, like
Yeah.
whatever.
We've all
It
been
is
through it.
blowing my mind what's happening right now, what I'm seeing. Oh, Christmas, last thing, Christmas
Christmas.
is
Yeah.
not just about Christmas. I was seeing and confirmed the Christ codes coming in.
Christ codes. Yep.
Christ codes coming in.
Yep.
I literally
Yeah.
saw it
Thank you, Carmen.
Like
Thank you, Becky.
golden light, unbelievable.
Yes.
Geometry coming Friday, I was seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
We are all embodying it. It is
Yes.
amazing.
Embodied. Mm.
I love you, love you, love you, love you all so much. We got this.
Yay. Yeah. Reach out. If anyone needs support, reach out to either one of us.
And
This
this
is
will
where,
replay. By the way, Kate, you said make sure that there's a replay wherever this is playing right now,
yeah.
YouTube, Facebook, whatever, wherever it's sitting as a post, it'll replay. So
Yay.
just share it. If you have people that you want to share in Messenger, that's kind of the best way because, you know, algorithms like from pages, they don't show nothing. So if there is somebody that you feel needs to hear this message or this update or resonant with it, share it out to the family.
Thank you, Kate. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Shasta. I have no idea. I'm supposed to be in New Mexico, but that could change. So I'm just, it's day to day though. So I'm just ready. I'm ready to go where I need to be. Maybe Shasta.
This
I
is
don't know.
how we do
Do
it.
it.
Mm, 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 mm.
Thank you, everybody. So much
Thank you,
love. Thank
everyone.
you, one. Love you. Mwah.